When I started working here, the Garden City Co-op had 7 elevators, a feed mill, a bulk plant, a filling station, minimal crop production facilities, and a feed yard. A typical co-op except for the feed yard. Looking back now, it feels like we were a sleepy little co-op meeting the basic needs of our members. One of my jobs during harvest was after the markets closed, I would go over to the garden elevator and walk along the line of trucks that meandered all the way down to the zoo and visit with the truck drivers. There was no sense of urgency as producers would get out of their trucks and visit as the line moved slowly towards the elevator dump pits. It was a social event as much as a harvest. In reality, the co-op was a machine on idle, and like driving your pickup, we moved into first gear, then second, and today I believe we're approaching NASCAR status, working towards IndyCar status. Did we slip a gear every now and then? Yes, we did. But each venture outside our core purpose resulted in a refining of our focus to bring us to where we are today. If someone brings a new idea to the management staff today, the first question asked is, how will this idea bring improved service and value to our members? This is true for anything we look at, from physical structures to machinery, computer systems to people.
I've always kind of wondered why some areas have co-ops and some areas don't have, but I finally concluded it was leadership. If that community happened to have the leadership to get the co-op going, they had a co-op, and if you didn't have the leadership, you never got it. And we were lucky in Garden City. We had early leadership that got the co-op off the ground.
It's like a piece of cloth. The fabric of a cooperative is in the strength of the fabric, and the threads going one way are service, the threads going the other way are the prorations and finance. That you can't pull out one set of threads, the other doesn't stand by itself, just like your jeans. They're going to fall apart. And how well that's woven together, the strength of the thread and the quality of the thread going both ways will make the difference in the strength of the cooperative. I think in Garden City, we've had excellent management that understood that has always tried to keep a strong finance, and yet a lot of the times the board wants some other services, maybe like a hay mill, that we've been able to keep it in good enough balance that it wasn't destructive to our balance sheet. Destroy the balance sheet, you've destroyed the co-op.
I think the Garden City Co-op started early on, had good farmer relationships, a lot of patronage, loyal customers, I would say, and that sort of thing. But I think the big thing was getting farmer directors on there to make the right decisions and do the things that they did.
It's crucial in the cooperative, if it's going to succeed, to have directors put the interests of the cooperative, put it ahead of their own personal reasons. The people I've dealt with at the Garden City Co-op, the fellow directors, always felt that that's where they were coming from. That's what they wanted to do. And that's crucial.
You've got to be able to take the risk. The fear of failure has got to come behind the anticipation of success.
The membership needs to be educated constantly. We're teaching a passing parade. New members come in all the time, the old ones are with the knowledge are going on. Nobody is born with that knowledge. It all has to be learned. And it can only be learned if there's teachers. And it's the obligation of the cooperative to make sure it's taught.
I viewed the Garden City Co-op as an extension of the farm itself. It replaces some of the help we may need and facilitates a lot of the functions that the farm itself, as an individual farmer, can't do by himself. So whether it's marketing the grain or hauling the grain or storing the grains, I think that's huge for an individual farmer.
I think the biggest threat would be misunderstanding or not understanding what the cooperative is about by the membership. A lack of interest, which in turn would get you directors on the board who lack the knowledge and interest of a cooperative and won't be committed. And a board that's not committed will not direct a management to stay committed either.
Why are we who we are today? People. It's because of the people that we work with, the people that we work for, and the people that we serve, regardless of how or what service or product we provide. Recently, I witnessed two of our maintenance team, Dan Peck and John Strekovis, had noticed a few kernels of corn on the ground near one of the loadout spouts at our Garden A elevator. After further investigation, they'd found a worn surface on the loadout spout and took quick action and repaired it. It wasn't a Category 10 emergency, it was just a small hole. It's the positive attitude and the ownership of the employees, the people, that make the Garden City Co-op what it is today. When you take ownership and a positive attitude, it pours out and takes the form and shape of service, relationship, partnership to our member owners and customers. This is accomplished by trusting, seeking, offering help, asking for help, transparency, and taking a positive approach. John once asked me about bar setting and what you do when you reach that level. My response was, it doesn't matter how high you set your bar, it matters that you keep moving towards that next level. It matters that you never fall below that bar. The level of service, satisfaction, and relationship to our member owners, customers, and just as important, fellow employees. In this environment, today, 99.9% in most cases is not good enough. We need to reach that 100% level. In the petroleum division, our high gallon year was 65 million gallons. If we were 99% good enough, we would have spilled or mixed 650,000 gallons of product. At 99.9%, we could have had issues with about 65,000 gallon product. In the airline industry, 99.9% accuracy means we would have to accept 18 major plane crashes a day, or 6,570 a year. Setting high hurdles or standards does not mean more gallons or more tons. It means improving our quality of service, bringing satisfaction not only to our customers, as mentioned before, but also to the Garden City Co-op, the team, the people.